Jai Shri Krishna. Welcome to Gita Discussions, a program of the International Gita Forum and IETV. We are now at program 18, where we are continuing our conversation, our discussion on chapter 11. With us, as is customary, is our consultant, Pandit Vickramaditya Maharaj, who has been going through the verses and leading in discussions. And so at this point, we resume chapter 11 from verse 49. Panditji.
As Arjuna had requested to see the universal form, and having seen it, he was more frightened than anything else. And then he requested Lord Vishnu, to show him back the tranquil form, the peaceful form, which, again, the Lord obliged. Sanjaya now says, Et Arjun Vasudeva tato kya swakam madupam darashayamasa bhoya ashvasayamasa cha bhetamenam bhotva puna samyavapura mahatma. Having spoken these words, Vasudeva took his original form that Arjuna was accustomed to seeing, and he consoled Arjuna, who was terrified, who was frightened. Now, this is a nice little lesson we could learn from this. I'm sure when you was growing up as a child, your father would have put some belt on you. You never get licks?
Yeah, boy.
While he was,
I read hadn't.
but while he was beating you was scared of him though.
I scared of the licks, boy.
Well, it's fear.
Yeah.
You fear the licks or you fear the man who putting the belt on you? Had to be the man who putting the belt on you. But that never drove you away from him.
Yeah.
So you see the same thing with Arjuna here. Although the Lord showed him that universal form, he knew that Arjuna was terrified. And Arjuna admitted that he was frightened.
Terrified.
So now that he took back the Sri Krishna form, he starts to console Arjuna, to free him from this internal terror that he had. Arjuna now says to the Supreme Lord, Drishta Vedam Manusham Rupam Tava Sauyam Janaradan Idani Masmi Sanbritataha Sachetaha Prakritim Gataha. Having seen your gentle form, O Janardan. Janardan is a form that devotees could worship. Devotees love this form. So he now described Lord Krishna, who was just in a terrible form, to now be the most lovable form. My mind is now composed. My nature is composed. I am now, we could say in Trinity, in our slang, he's back to normal.
Normal.
And Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Lord Krishna responds, Sudura darashami damarupam drishtava yanmama deva apyasya rupasya nityamadharashana kankshinaha. It is very hard, Arjuna. Indeed, I admit that. It's very hard to see this form of mine which you have seen. Even the devatas are very eager to see this form. They want to see this form. Naham avedharana tapasana dane nanana cheshaya shakya evam vidro drashtum drishtavanasi yamamayata. Nor by the study of the Vedas, nor through penance, nor through charity, nor through yajna can this form be seen, Arjuna. This is not going to happen again. Bhaktya tvananyaya shakya ahamevam vido Arjuna gyatum adrashtum na tattvena praveshtum mana parantapaha. But, you see, Sanatana Dharma always give us an alternative. There is no hard line. No hard line. Nothing is hard line. There must be an alternative. God, I'm using the word God. God cannot create a universe and doom people to hell for eternity.
Yeah.
That is not Sanatana Dharma. He says, but Arjuna, Bhaktya, unswerving devotion of this form you will know me in reality. You worship the form that you know, and you will see this form when you merge into it. You don't have to see this form to want to go in it. No, no, no. This is the alternative. We live in a chaotic world. O scorcher of the enemy. Matakarama krena mataparamo madabhakta sangavarjita nirvaira sarvabhuteshu yasamamiti yapandava. He who does work for me, who looks upon me as the supreme, who is devoted to me, who is free from attachment, who is without hatred for any being, he comes to me, O Arjun. He comes to me. When the Lord says, he who does work for me, what work you could do for God, man?
Basically performing your duties.
Basically.
For his sake, yeah.
He who does work for me.
Chapter 18, he speaks of...
He who does work for me means that a man has developed a love for God. And developing this love for God, he sees success and all these things in it. What is the work he's going to do for God? The work he's going to do for God is to take people who do not have that and try to teach them it, to bring them up. Yeah, that is the work you do for the Lord.
Chapter 18, as also he says that, that he who preaches, teaches, does me the greatest service.
This is why you see chapter 18 say that. But chapter 9 says,
Chapter 9.
Kim punara brahmana punya bhakta rajara kayastatha.
Which verse?
Verse 33.
Yes. Rose is devoted to media for having obtained...
Kim punara brahmana punya bhakta rajara kayastatha. Anityama sukhamaloka mimam prabhava swamam. That a person who realizes the Supreme, why wouldn't I love him?
Constantly worship him.
Because he will worship me, and then he will take ordinary people who know nothing about worship and make them bhaktas like himself. So I must love a person like that. Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita su, Upanishatsu, Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre, Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade, Vishwarup Darshana Yognam, Ekadasho Adhyaya.
Thus, in the Upanishad sung by the Lord, the science of Brahma, the scripture of Yoga, the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna ends the 11th chapter entitled The Yoga of the Vision of the Universal Form. Jai Shri Krishna. Bole Shri Krishna Chandra ki Jai. We now continue, Panditji, as we begin chapter 12.
Bhakti Yoga. Arjuna begins chapter 12 by asking question 14. Evam satata yuktaye bhakta tvam pariyupasate ye chapya aksharam avyaktam teshamake yoga vitatamaha. O Lord, those devotees who are committed to their worship, they committed to it, but they worship thee in the unmanifest form, or we say in the invisible form. Which of these?
Formless.
The form and the formless.
Right.
But those who worship the formless,
right?
Which of these are better versed in yoga? And Lord Krishna responds to Arjuna immediately. Mayaya veshamano ye mam nitya yukta upasate sharaya parayopetas te me yukta tamamataha. Those who have fixed their minds upon me and steadfast and with faith, I consider them perfect in yoga. And there's a reason for that. When you read in the Srimad Bhagavad Puran, Krishnama enama aveti tvam atmanam akilatmanam jagadidhaya sopatre Dehiya bhatiya mayaya. There is a reason that Lord, the Supreme Lord, comes to the earth in the form of Sri Krishna. There's a reason for that. And the reason for that is to take away complications from the life of people, and they will have a simple, most beautiful form to worship.
Correct.
And that is the reason he comes. Also to destroy evil and protect good. But that is the reason.
But I think we should just go a little more fundamental here for our viewers. This is a very important principle in Hinduism. Here, Arjun recognizes two forms of God, Nirgun, Sagun, right? God without a form, God with a form. Now, and this is where Hinduism diverges from other world faiths. And not that we're here to discuss other faiths, but this comparison has to be done at times. In our philosophy, Bhagwan, Supreme Divinity, comes in a form we can see, we can touch, we can relate to. In other philosophies, God is always treated as a remote being who doesn't act directly, but acts through messengers and acts through somebody else that he sends. Hinduism, Sanatan Dharam, and this is something that we all should really give serious consideration and recognition to. Hinduism recognizes Nirgun Brahm, yes, even there are some sects of Hindus who don't accept avatar, right? But they stick with the Nirgun aspect. But the idea of God taking a form, God so loves us, in our hour of need, he comes in a physical form. And the form that we're speaking of here is Lord Krishna, the Supreme Divinity, to champion our cause. So this is an important principle that we all should, I just thought I should expand on a bit more as Panditji continues.
You know what the word Sopatre means? You never heard that word before?
I don't know it offhand, honestly.
Right. Sopatre means God invisible.
Okay.
There is no debate on that. But because of devotees, Sopatre, he takes a personal form.
Okay.
A personal form means a form that devotee I am going for will be attracted to it when I go.
Hari Vyapak Sarvat Samana Premate Pragat Hoi Mai Jana.
Thank God you know Ramayana.
A little bit. So, he is Supreme Divinity, all encompassing, all pervading, but because of the love of his devotee, he manifests. It's like he crystallizes, he comes into a physical form.
But Sopatra also means something different.
Okay.
Sopatra also means it's a personal form for a devotee, but it's not only for him. It is for the welfare of the world.
Over the world, yeah.
So Sopatra could be interpreted two things. He takes this personal form. You know when we sing the chant, Achyutam Keshavam Krishna Damodaram, and they say, Kaun kehte hai Bhagavan khate nahi, Ber Shabri ki jaise khilate nahi. How you know God do it? You ever feed him? Have you fed him the way Shibari has fed him? So it's a personal form. But the personal form, Gopatra, was for Shibari.
Okay.
But that personal form for Shibari also came not only to eat from my Shibari, but for the welfare of the world. That everybody benefits from it. That is Gopatra. Now,
so he starts by saying in verse 2 that he considered them to be the best yogis who, united through steadfast devotion, worship him, being Krishna Bhagwan, with their minds on him.
That's right. Next verse he says, Ye tvakshara manidesham avyaktam apadiyupasate saravatra gaminchenyam nahakuttasmachalam dhruvam. But Arjun, those who worship the imperishable, the indefinable. May I ask you a question, Pandit? When you went on the moon, how was the trip?
How you I never smoke ganja, you know. Because kind of question is that, man?
No. How was your trip when you went on the
I
moon?
never went to the moon.
Simple.
Right.
So we cannot discuss
No, but
that.
I have a fellow who smoke ganja and tell me went to the moon, eh?
Well, I'm glad for you. Oh, that's why you use that phrase, but that's not the right phrase to use. Right? That is something indefinable. You cannot define it.
It's outside my experience.
It is outside your imagination.
And experience, yeah. You're right.
Right. So the unmanifest, the omnipresent, unthinkable. What I am asking you about going to the moon is unthinkable. You're not even going to think about that in your whole lifetime. If you live 100 years again, you will not even think about going there. Nice. And that form is unchangeable, immovable, eternal. Sanniyam yendriya gramam saravatra samabuddhaya te prapnuvanti mameva sarvabhuta hite rataha. Having restrained their senses, even-minded, engaged in the welfare of all beings, they also come to me. But they choose a difficult road.
Yeah.
Nobody is saying don't worship the invisible form of God. Nobody is saying that. But what he's saying, why choose that road? And I'll tell you why. In Bhakti Shatak, it says that if you worship the invisible form of God and you make mistakes, or you happen to make a mistake one day while you're doing it, you fall back to zero, you know.
No, I have a question, Pandit. Let's just discuss this for a second before going forward. When somebody tells me they don't think about a form when they pray, what do they think about? Nobody can answer that for me.
You got to ask them that for answer.
You know, because they say they're not using a murti, but anything you think about is a murti. You know, so people say Hindus are idol worshippers because we have physical murtis. But others don't have physical murtis, but they show respect and adoration to symbols and signs. And those are murtis.
Yeah, same thing. It represents something.
Yeah. Once it's not the actual item, or item is a bad word, the being worshipped, and it represents the being, it's a murti. So for anybody to say they don't use murtis, it is hypocrisy.
Yeah. I want to stray away for a split second.
Sure.
This is something I learned recently. I had a friend who used to play badminton with me.
Okay.
So he was a good guy, he was a teacher, frequent church. The one day we were having a discussion. I wouldn't call his name for obvious reasons. Right? I say, why you choose this faith? This branch of Christianity? And not this branch? If the choice was mine, I would have gone for this one. So what makes you all different? And he laughed. He said, when I come next week, I will show you. And really, he did show me. He walked with 2 crosses. He said, watch the 2 crosses. Tell me what is different with them. I said, 2 crosses. He said, no. Look at them and tell me what is different. He says, one is a crucifix. Right? A cross with the Jesus crucified on it. He says, we don't do that. We just pray to the cross.
What's the difference?
Well, I'm just telling you. What does
it mean? The physical, like a form of a man on a cross?
Yes.
No, I didn't even know that because, I mean...
I was shocked.
Yeah. Interesting.
He says, no, to them that is a no-no.
Okay, because I follow.
Right?
But they're not seeing the cross as an idol.
So I said, so what does it symbolize? He said, oh, come on, you know that and I know that. Let me not debate that. We're not discussing symbolism. You have to have the mind has to be able to focus on something.
And once it's something, it's within the ken of your intellect, it becomes
fit for worship.
And not only fit for worship, it becomes an idol.
Well, I won't use the word idol.
No, as the word idol is used loosely. Right? Or a murti.
Murti is something different.
Yeah.
Idol is something different. Like I say, if I see a nice round stone on the side of the road, I will kick it like a marble. I see no problem with that. But if I pick up that same stone and draw 3 lines on it and I hand you it, will you kick it?
Never.
Why? Because you know it is something different.
Yeah. No, the stone is intrinsically still the stone, but I have a different perspective on what the stone represents now.
No, because you have molded it into what you want.
Correct. Same. Yeah.
Right.
Agreed.
So God is invisible. I have no problem with that. I hope when I go by Him, He is invisible and He see me and I see He. Is that going to work for you? Fine. But what I'm saying is that you take that invisible form and we mold it how we want it. So we could have an attraction towards it. So this is why he's saying, to have restrained senses, even mind, that is no easy task to accomplish in this lifetime. I mean, read all our scriptures. Vishwamitra was on the verge of becoming Brahman. Right? And he lost everything. It's too difficult to accomplish. And he explains to him, Klesha de, no.
Yeah.
Klesho dikattarasyesha vyakta sakta chetasam avyakta hi gateradokam dehavad bhiravavapyate. It is with great difficulty, Arjun, to get the mind to focus on something that it cannot imagine. It's unmanifested. What does it look like? But let me ask you a question. If you put your hand on the desk, will you feel the cold? See if it's feeling cold or cool.
Yeah.
Nice. How the breeze feeling?
Nice.
Feeling it. How many breeze now?
Can't hand it.
That's right. You can't imagine what it is. The same way, you are putting too much strain on your system, your mind, your intellect. And the mind and intellect is not to be strained. It is to be molded. It is to be molded. It is hard for an embodied being. We are embodied beings. Humans are embodied beings. It is hard. He didn't say impossible. It is very hard for them to reach what they think they could reach. It's very hard for that to happen. That is not an easy task to accomplish. Ye tu saravani karamani mayi sanyasya matparaha ananyenaiva yogena madhyayanta upasati. But those who worship me, Arjun, renouncing all actions in me, regarding me as the supreme goal, meditating upon me with single-minded yoga, take the form that you know and delve into that form, and then you would realize that this is the formless all the time. Teshamaham samuddharata mrityu sansara sagarat bhavami nachirat partha mayaya veshita chetasam. For those whose thought is set upon me, I become very soon, Arjun, the deliverer from the ocean of birth and death.
Yes.
I am the one who has to do it. You see what people don't understand. And plenty of people, I mean, sometimes it was amazing to me sometimes when I did my first funeral. We had the body on the shoulder. We walking along on the cremation site. And everybody chanting, Rama Nama Satya Hai, Rama Nama Satya Hai, Rama Nama Satya Hai. Right, fine, we burn him. Boop. When I went to do the Shraddh, Gita part. I said, but 10 days ago, Rama Nama Satya Hai. What happened in 10 days' time? That from Rama Nam, we gone to Krishna. Forget Rama Nam, totally forget. And that is the beauty about Hinduism. Every form is the same thing.
Yeah. To the Hindu mind.
Well,
Yeah.
it's the same thing. Whether you say Rama Nama Satya Hai or Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevai, you think it's a different God you're praying to? No, my friend, it's not a different God. It's the same one person. But it's to the person's appeal.
Yeah.
What appeals to you at that time? And that is why we give it different forms. To suit different needs, to suit different occasions. He says, but in the end, Arjun, even though we chant in Rama Nama Satya Hai, I am the one to deliver you from the mortal world. I am the one. Maya yeva mana adaswa maye buddhim niveshaya nevasishyasi mayeva ata oradvam na sanshaya. Fix your mind upon me, Arjun. Let your thoughts be upon me. And you will live in me alone. Of this there is no doubt. Go back to chapter 9, the last verse. Manmana bhavamada bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mama vaishasi yakvenam matamana matparayanam. Fix your mind upon me. Meditate upon me. Be devoted to me, Arjun. And in the end, you shall come to me. That is chapter 9. Chapter 12 is saying, fix your mind upon me. Let your thoughts dwell upon me, Arjun. And in the end, you will be in me forever. Of this, there is no doubt.
At this point, where Bhagwan makes this very profound statement, verse 8, we will now take our break and then continue. Do stay with us. Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna, welcome back. We are in this very exciting period of the study of Bhagavad Gita. We are now in chapter 12 and we've just completed verse 8. We now turn to Panditji as we continue our conversations. Panditji.
Well, the Lord has explained to Arjun to fix his mind upon him. Let his thoughts be upon the Lord. And in the end, when he merges into that Supreme Lord, without a doubt, there is no return. Atachittam samadhatum nashaknoshi mayi stiram abhyasa yogena tato mamichaptum dhananjaya. Now, and this is why I said in the last program, Sanatan Dharma gives us options to realize God.
Correct.
The second option he gives to Arjun, he says, I know some people cannot fix their mind upon me. That's very difficult to do. Then, if they cannot fix their mind upon me, then perform something that is called Abhyas Yoga. Abhyas Yoga, keep doing it over and over.
Yeah. Repeated practice.
Do it over and over. Do it over and over. Like I tell, even it happens to me, those, if I sit down to do job, sometimes I reach quarter mala and my mind gone.
Right. Then you just
I put on the
practice.
mala one side.
Yeah.
No, I put on the mala. Take a 5, pick it up and start back.
Right. Repeated practice.
And
So in chapter 8, in verse 8, Krishna Bhagwan is saying, fix your mind on me. Fix your mind on me and establish your intellect in him. Now, as we try to do that, as Panditji is saying, we may not be able to do it all the time. We would make mistakes. Or at some point we'll forget Lord Krishna. Then, chapter 9 he's saying, if you cannot steadily fix the mind, then Abhyas Yoga.
Abhyas Yoga.
Keep practicing. Right? How many times per day do you think about Lord Krishna? You answer that question for yourself. I answer it for me. We are being told to fix our minds on Lord Krishna.
He further goes on to say, Abhyasepya samaratosi matakarama paramo bhava madartamapi karamani koravana siddhamavapyasi. It is even difficult to practice Abhyas Yoga.
Yeah.
That's also difficult. Then, what you should do, let your mind be attracted, or get the mind attracted in doing something for me. I'll give you a good example of that. I would really like to mine a cow, but it's against the law in San Fernando to mine a cow in San Fernando.
Okay.
It is against the law.
In residential
It's
area.
not possible. Although we had cow in San Fernando in the 60s.
Okay.
So what do I do now? Ever so often, I rung up a side of a chailer them who are doing nothing on a Saturday or Sunday morning, and we go around San Fernando, and we cut a van load of grass. When I say a van load of grass, I mean a van load of grass. The van load of grass that we cut feeds 13 cows for 7 days. That's how much grass we cut in 2 hours. And then we carry it where we have the cows in tableland where the father is minding the cow, and we give it to him. What does he do in return? Boy, thank you. Look at my hand today. I see real pain in this cold weather to go and cut grass. You understand?
Yeah.
So no. The intention is, I wish I could have cut this grass for this man every week. But I cannot do it every week. So maybe once a month, once every 2 months. This is what he's saying. If you cannot practice abhyas, the intention must be there to let me do something for you.
Yeah. Now, in terms of doing something for Lord Krishna too, our viewers at home, what can you do for Lord Krishna? What work can you do that would bring you closer to Lord Krishna? Now, Panditji has mentioned a simple thing like Gau Seva. How involved are you in your temples? And I want to say something here, Pandit, that always amazes me. For example, when we were developing some of these series, right, the series of programs, we'd approach businessmen, Hindu businessmen, who we would say kindly consider sponsorship. And you'd imagine a Hindu businessman saying to you that, I can't sponsor. Now, to me, I'm being very frank in this program here like this now. Here's an opportunity to work for Lord Krishna, to do something to promote his name. And when somebody says that to me, I'll be honest, I just watch them and smile. Because this is an opportunity to promote Lord Krishna. Giving out Bhagavad Gitas, giving food. Now in Trinidad, now there is a situation where there are a lot of people who are homeless, and if not homeless, are having difficulty with food.
You'll be surprised to know the figure, trust me.
Yeah.
I could carry you into that detail that you won't be able to eat at the end of the day.
Right.
Trust me, don't go into that.
So even assisting in that way, be intent to work for me. I want to suggest, especially to people who are involved in the worship of Lord Krishna, promoting Lord Krishna, think of how you can be of service to Lord Krishna. There are so many ways.
Like I was just drawing to the reference with the cow. When I was doing the translation of the Hindi Bhagavad Gita, the Doha Gita, I called the Paramacharya. I said, I need your help with something. He said, sure, what could I do for you? So I tell him, I say, what chapter you're good at? That's on the phone. Say chapter 11. I say, I need your help, I come in. He said, sure. When I reach my house, I don't know how to get in there. This is like a fortress. So I call him on the phone, he press a button and the gate open. When you talk to him next time, ask him what the first thing I did when I come out of the car. I say, boy, we feeding some cows in tableland. And the man give me a nice bottle of ghee. Look, I'm giving it to you. Use it in your mandir, eat it, whatever you choose to do with it. Whatever you choose to do with it is yours, like your business. And that is what people don't understand. That action of carrying grass from San Fernando to Tableland, taking a bottle of ghee from Tableland to San Fernando to Aranguez, right? Look how far it reached. How many people would benefit from that ghee now? When they light that diya, everybody will see that light. You understand? One bundle of grass causes all that, What that does, according to verse 10, it assists you to gain perfection.
Yeah.
It's not going to give you perfection, but it will assist you to get it.
Work for Lord Krishna.
Right. And now he further goes on to explain to Arjun, Ataita datta shakto se karatama madhyogama ashritaha sarva karama phalatyagam tatakuruya yatatmavan. Even if you cannot do that, Arjun, then surrender to me. How do you surrender to me, Arjun? If you cannot pray to God, how are you going to surrender to God? You cannot surrender to God. He says, surrender the fruit of the karma. Let me decide for you what is coming your way. You still want to tell me to have freedom, free choice and free thought?
Relinquish the fruit of actions. Let's expand on that a bit.
Right.
What does it mean?
Okay.
For our viewers. He's saying now, if you can't be intent to work for him all the time, you can't even, is there difficulty doing that, then subdue your mind and intellect. Controlling your mind and intellect, which again is a tall order, yeah? But here now the idea of relinquishing the fruit of all actions. Let's expand on that.
Right. Most people by nature, nobody does something for nothing. Most people.
Meaning it's a transactional relation.
Of course.
I give something, I must get
I
something.
expect something in return.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Here Lord Krishna is saying,
Yes,
give,
no, he's
but
saying
don't expect a return.
No. He's saying to expect something in return. He's saying that. But what he's saying, expect it from me, not the person who you do it for.
That's one way to look at it. Yeah.
Right. Now, if I go to the mandir and I carry a ball a week, but tea, what do I get in return for that? Nothing. Remember, I feel in one of our sessions, I told you if you were walking by a school and you see a piece of break bottle on the road, why would you pick it up and throw it one side or put it in a dustbin? What do you expect to gain from that? Nothing. But you have the foresight to know that even though I seek nothing from that action, it prevents other lives from being harmed. But you don't expect anything in return. You do it out of the love for doing it. You do it, listen, I have a lot of people that's come by me before my yagya. And children, all children like pizza. Right? All children like pizza. I buy pizza for them, sweet drink for them, let them enjoy themselves. What they do? They go upstairs in the mandir and they fix the altar to suit them. Right? But they're not going to clean my brass. They're not going to do that. I am not going to allow them to do that. That is my responsibility. I will clean it. I will polish it for you. You fix it now, how you like it. You understand? So you automatically get them involved. And when we started off, all the children were primary school children. All were primary school children. Right? So that was fun for them, you know. Today when I look back at it, all are now university graduates. Most of them have jobs. And they're still involved. So they come for the love of coming, they come in for the excitement. Look what the excitement has done for them. It put them in managerial positions in the mandir now. You understand? A lot of people believe that you must do something for me. I don't have to do nothing for you. I don't believe in that concept. I don't, honestly. Right now, Panditji, and you mightn't believe me, right now my roof in my building is being changed. Right now. Construction is going on the roof. As soon as the guys come every morning, let me have a cup of tea together. We have a fellow who's selling doubles over the road. I say, listen, go and buy $100 in doubles, man. 6 a week. I eat in one, you know. I can't go no more than one. But the point is, when you make people feel that they are part of an institution, they look after the institution. But if I come to the institution and I am your slave in this institution, what concern I have in this? None. And this is what he's saying to him. He says, when you surrender the fruit of the karma, that is when the benefits are going to come, Arjuna. And he goes on to tell him, Shreyogi jnanam abhyasan jnanam vishishyati jnana karma pala tyagas tyaga chanti narantaram. Better than knowledge, better is knowledge than abhyas. Better than knowledge is meditation. Better than meditation, the renunciation of the fruit of karma. And if you could reach the level of the renunciation of the fruit of karma, then there's only one step remaining. Peace. Eternal peace is for you.
Because there's no expectation.
No.
I do what I have to do.
That's right.
Yeah.
I do it for the love of doing it, but I seek nothing in return. I do what I have to do because somebody has to do it. You understand?
And I see it as my duty.
Not a duty. I see it as a responsibility.
Responsibility, fine.
Adveshta sarva bhutanam maitre karuna evacha niramamo nirankara samadukha sukhakshami santushta satatama yogi yatatma dridda nishtaya Maya yarapit mano buddhir yo madabhakta sami priyaha. Now, Arjun, when you develop this renunciation of the fruit of karma, and you become attracted to doing things for the love of doing it, could you hate somebody? You will not have that quality that is called hate. You will always have a smile. You ever meet people who always have a smile on their face? I meet plenty of people like that, always smiling.
And he has more ganja, right?
No, normal. Always with a smile on their face.
Yeah.
Right?
Is it their nature?
That's their nature. They're compassionate to all. They will sit and listen to everybody. Listen, I wish everybody who come by me for help, I could help. I wish I could really help all of them, but I cannot. But it doesn't mean I can't listen to them. And by listening to them, that takes away some of the pain that they have. The individual becomes free from I and mine. This is the problem. Is my way or no way? Free yourself from that. Be even-minded in pleasure, in pain. Listen to people when they come with good news. Also listen to people when they come with bad news. I remember a guy come at me looking for a donation for a yagya. Right? He said, Paul, we having a yagya or a donation. I said, sure, sit down. Talk to me. He said, well, we're having this yag. I said, which part of the yag taking place? So he called a district. I said, well, who's the pundit reading the yag? He said, Pundit Vikram. I know me, I have no yag to do with that. I said, boy, let me tell you something. Let me give you a piece of advice. I will give you a donation. But you see where you're trying to pull it? Don't pull that, because that will cost you more than you're bargaining for. You want $10? Hold that $10. You say, boy, I say, I Pundit Vikram, boy. So I know you're lying. Right? But don't do that with everybody, because somebody will take you seriously and they might damage you. You know, sometimes we want to go overboard and help. Yes, I'll give you a little story that is true. There's a vagrant that's come by me almost every day. We're like friends. So my daughter was here for holidays. And he told her, he said, next time you come in from England, bring me a nice pair of Nike shoes. I don't know if he was serious or he was joking. That is the truth. Within 6 months, she was back in Trinidad, and she did bring a pair of Nike shoes for him. When she told me the price of the shoes, I said, cheaper to be a vagrant. So when he came, she really gave it to him. So she said, well, put it on, let me see. He said, no. When I bathe, then I go put on the shoes. So he had it in a bag, and he was sleeping in the park, what we call the park, Skinner Park. You know that very night somebody killed him and take the shoes? The same night. Somebody killed him and take it. So this is why Lord Krishna is always trying to emphasize, give up this I and mine. Pleasure and pain is for everybody. Be contented in this world, Arjun. Be steady in meditation. Steady in meditation means do a little bit every day. Do a little bit every day. And with your mind fixed upon me, such a devotee is very dear to me. Tasma no dvidate loko, loka no dvidate chayaha, harasha marasha bhayo dvegai, mukto ya sachame priyaha. When you look and see what is going on in the world, some people are not affected by it, whatever going on. You know, there's a famous old saying which to say, kya kare ke hoi man, let go how it going.
Yeah.
Right. They're not affected by it, they're not worried about it. Whatever has to happen, it is going to happen. Free yourself from joy. Free yourself from anger. Free yourself from fear. Free yourself from anxiety, stress. You're causing the heart to race off for no reason. As a dentist tell you, boy, I pull out them 2 teeth. You know where's your heart rate when he tells you that? Such a person is dear to me. Try to be calm all the time. You know, somebody called me recently on this program, well, home, and they said they find my voice aggressive. I said, well, nothing I can do about that. But don't think I am that person. Don't judge me by how you voice up.
How you interpret, yeah.
Don't interpret it to mean that. Anapeksha shutira daksha udasino gatavyata sarvaramba parityagi yo madabhakta sami priyaha. Now, he who has no wants is different from he who has no needs. Go back to the Gita, go back to chapter 9. I am the one who provides the needs of my devotees. Not their want, their need. I was always fascinated by a thing called buffet. I never went to one. I didn't know what it was until somebody was explaining to me one day. We went to a wedding in St. James Mandir and it was buffet style. So my brother was with me. He was elder than me. I said, what is this buffet thing about? So you had to go and take your own food. Take how much you want and eat. I said, I will never do that. I'm not eating. Right? I feel shame going to do that. He went and eat belly full. I wouldn't do that. But I think it means it's basically a free-for-all.
You could just take yourself, yeah.
With a free-for-all. Have no wants. The more you see, the more you're going to want. You must be prompt. You must be on time. When you give people time, you must stick to that time. You won't believe that. For the first 45 years of my life as a pundit, I traveled to do puja. I never reached late one day yet. Regardless of wherever I'm going. Unconcerned, untroubled. Be selfless in your undertaking. And if you could do this, O Arjun, such a person is very dear to me. See the different options the Lord has given us? How many different options we have? Yo na hrishyati na dveshti, na sochati na kangshati, shubha shubha parityagam, muktimanya same priyaha. He who does not rejoice, nor hate, nor grieve, nor desire. When you hear things about people, you laugh and say, good for them. Don't rejoice. Those are not things to celebrate. Renounce all good, renounce all evil, because good have the same effects as evil. The Maya in it will get you attached to it, and the whole idea about the Gita is detachment. So you can't only detach the bad, detach the good too. But you must have full devotion when you do it. Be devoted to me, and such a person, Arjun, is very dear to me. Samashatro cha mitre cha tatamana pamanayo shitoshan sukha dukkheshu samasanga vivarjitaha tulya nindastu teramoni santushto yena kenachit aniketastiram bhaktiman me priyo naraha. He who is the same to the friend and to the enemy. I used to always use that in cricket. We'll sit down in the pavilion, 2 cricket teams, and all of we laughing together and sharing with coffee and enjoying yourself. But when I go there and flick that coin, whichever way it lands, we are no friend again and no partner. Now we are enemies. It's a fight to the finish. Before the war, we are friends. During the war, we are enemies. And at the end of the match, we will shake hands and congratulate each other. Who win or who lose. You understand? He who is the same to friend and to foe. Who is the same in honor and dishonor. Who is the same in cold and in heat. In pleasure and in pain. The bottom line, Arjun, free yourself from attachment. That is what the Bhagavad Gita is about. Tyagi, to renounce, to free for yourself from attachment. Be contented, Arjun. Be homeless. Homeless doesn't mean to be a vagrant. It doesn't mean that at all. I don't know why people think, well, you see, again, the influence of English language on our scriptures has given us a lot of false things that we cannot imagine. Homeless doesn't mean living in the bush. Homeless means that you are not attached to the home that you live in. Your mind must be steady. Your mind must be firm. Your mind must be full of devotion. Arjun, such a person is very, very dear to me. Ye tu dharamamridam medam yatoktam padiyupasate shraddhana mat parama madabhakte tiva me priyaha. This verse is so interesting. He describes Hinduism as the immortal dharma. those who follow this immortal dharma. Yetu dharma amritam hridam. This immortal dharma. Immortal means this dharma is going to survive us. You understand?
Yeah.
It's going to survive us. Which I have described to you, Arjun. But you must have faith in it. Look upon me as the supreme goal. Put your faith in me. Be devoted to me, Arjun. You are not dear to me. You are exceedingly dear to me. That is the highest form of dear you could reach. Exceedingly dear. And that is the highest you could reach, Arjun. We all living in this world. Just don't be attached to it. You know, when we read Ramayana, they talk about this bridge that Ram built. How much stone Ram contributed towards building that bridge? According to the Ramayana. Not one.
Devotees did it.
He built the bridge, but he had nothing. The man who contributed the most in terms of the structure of the bridge was Hanuman. And what was strange about that bridge when it finished, and they were marching into Lanka, Ram and Lakshmana was on his shoulders, but he never walked on the bridge. Why he chose to fly? You have any reason why? You know why? Tell me why.
Tell me.
No, you tell me, the man.
I don't give
you use code Ramayana every to tie up my head. Because every stone that was thrown in that water had the name Ram written on it.
Yeah, one version has that. There is also a version that says that the devotees would not walk on the name of Ram. So
Right.
that is that is what an answer here.
And the next explanation to it is, even though Hanuman was in the world, even though Hanuman was building things in the world, he always remained aloof from it.
Yeah.
So that is what the Gita is saying. Yes, we live here, but you know what? Don't be attached to anything in this world.
Because ultimately,
Then such an individual is exceedingly dear to me. Because everything in this world has a lifespan. Everything has a lifespan. And eventually, some of the things that we are attached to or attracted to could go before us.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it be partner, family, or material things, whatever it is. So even, yes, everything is there. You thank God for every day. And in the end, we become very dear to that Supreme Lord. Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita su, Upanishatsu, Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastri, Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade, Bhakti Yog Nam Dwadasho Adhyaya.
Thus, in the Upanishad sung by the Lord, the science of Brahm, the scripture of Yoga, the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna ends the 12th chapter entitled The Yoga of Devotion. As we conclude, we want to thank all our sponsors who have seen it fit to assist in ensuring this production gets done, and to Panditji, who continues to share his wisdom, and to all our viewers, those of you who have been communicating very, very often and with ideas, suggestions, we want to thank you. We now reach at the end of chapter 12. We will continue in our next program. Until then, Jai Shri Krishna.